Okay, welcome to video 8.1, and we're going to do our worksheet dividing shapes into spaces. This should be in your pocket of your sketchbook, so go ahead and get this out and we will begin. Okay, first let's divide our square. This is going to be pretty simple. All that we're going to do is divide it in half. Now, if you want to, you can shade this half. You can either shade it like this, like normal shading, okay, or you could just shade it using some lines like this. It doesn't matter, however you want to do it. So I'll do part of it where it's a little bit darker, and then I'll leave this part like that, just so you can see. If you want to get a little bit harder, okay, you can do this again, same thing, but then come the other direction. Now we have 4 spaces that we've divided the shape up into. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shade this side. If you want to, you don't have to shade them, but this would be good just for some practice. We're going to shade that side dark, and then we won't push as hard on this side or this side. Now this is a little messy, and that's fine, because we're just trying to get through the video so you can learn how to divide these shapes up. Okay, so don't spend a lot of time. You can spend a lot of time when you do this on your actual project. So this is the easy way. You just divide it once. I'll go ahead and do this all dark, just so it kind of looks the same. But remember, you can just make lines if you want to. Now the last one is when we actually have, now I'm going to draw this very lightly, if you can see that, very lightly. Okay, now I'm going to make another square in the middle. Okay, see my other square? And we're going to compare this space with this space, and this space. Make sure it's kind of all the same. Now, I'm going to erase this. Now, the option to this is you could have just drawn a square in the middle and then connected these lines to the corners of your other square. Now it kind of looks like a jewel almost, right? And we'll go ahead and shade this side just the same as this. I'm going to shade this side dark. And then we'll shade these sides lighter so we don't push down as hard. Notice I changed directions of my shading. Okay, so here's some ways that we can divide our shapes up. And we're doing geometric ones because these are going to be what we use to create our geometric animal. Okay, now let's try this. This is going to be a little different. We're moving on to some of the triangles. We'll divide this in half like that. Now this is the easy way, and if you wanted to add shading to your shapes, we'll add the shading over here. Probably should have shaded it this direction, but that's okay. I'm not getting all technical. Now the next way we can do this is a little bit different. Okay, we're going to go halfway with our line here, and we're going to stop. We're not going to make it all the way to the other side. We're going to bring it up here and connect it, and then connect it over here. So here we got this shape. So now, let's see, I can just shade one of these sides like this. Color one side in. There we go. And or I could have colored this side in, or this side, it doesn't matter. Any of them. I can do this one a little bit lighter because we got a couple of light sides over here, like that. Now the last way, we're going to have another shape, like a top part, okay, in the middle here. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw another triangle. Remember, you can do it one or two ways. You can do this, just like you did with this one. And then you just connect this spot. See these two lines, this line and this line. And here's another one. We connect it here, and then we connect it here. Or you could have just drawn this shape first, watched your spacing. My pencil's not wanting to draw right. There we go. And then you could have connected these lines like this. So we just draw the same shape, it's just smaller. Then we'll go ahead and shade one dark part, and then this one will be the light one. Okay, so we have another jewel type shape here. So these are pretty fun to do. Now these are the same way, so it's exact same as this. So pause the video real quick and try and do these, and we'll see how they turn out, see if they look the same as mine. Just don't do them really dark, just in case you have to change them. Okay. Okay, so here are the new triangles, and this one, remember, it's divided into two pieces, sorry. We just put one line divided into two pieces. This one, we're dividing it into more than one. So this one, instead of 4 equal pieces like a square, because this has 4 sides, this has 3 sides, so we have 3 more sides, right? We have to keep the number of sides. And here, we give a raised area in the middle, like if we cut this point off, it's flat. So yours should look like this. If they don't, go ahead and pause the video so you can fix them. And then we're going to work on these down here. So let's do this. I'm going to speed this up a little bit as I do it. So first thing we're going to do with this one, we'll keep, we won't have a raised area on this one, but we will have a dot in the middle. So you can go put that, because we're going to connect all of our lines to this dot. So let's do that real quick. First, we'll take the inside lines and make those connect to the dot. So all these little points that are close, let's bring them all in. Good. Okay, now let's do the higher points. We'll bring those all the way down to that dot. Okay, so we have those. Now we're going to add a little bit of shading to this. Now, you can fiddle around with the shading however you want to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and shade mine, and then you can play with this, see what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so this is how I shaded mine. I made it to where the sunlight was coming from this direction, okay, so that it caught some of the back side of it a little bit, and it's hitting these two, and it's also hitting some of this. So that's the way I shaded mine. But you don't have to shade it this way. You can play with it and shade it however you want. These two, we're going to make the raised areas on these two. So you remember how to do that? Okay, we can either start, we can make a smaller shape, which we'll just do these that way. Make a smaller shape first. Let's go ahead and do one over here. Make it smaller. So you have to make sure wherever this point is, it changes direction at the same place. Okay, now what do we do after this? If this is the way you want to do it, we connect all of our points, just like that. Remember, the other way you could have done this is bring these all the way through, and then work on making your shape by connecting it to the lines that you just made, which is a little bit more accurate. So I kind of fixed it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll shade. I'll shade this side first. Where's that? And I'll turn my paper. Get these a little lighter, remember? Go. I'll do some of the same things over here. Shade this one dark. And I'll do a little bit lighter here. A little bit lighter here. There we go. Alright, so we have all of our shapes here. Now you could have made these simple like this, or even like this. You didn't have to put this flat part on the top, okay? You could have made them just with a dot here and just kind of connected all the pieces. That would have been fine too. So you could make these very simple, or you can make them pretty complicated, however you want to do them. Now we're going to use this principle to work on our animal in the next video. Okay? See you then.